Hey guys, and welcome back to TheCubicle. Today I'm going to be unboxing the new MoYu AoYan Skewb. So in my last unboxing video, we took a look at the new Valk 2 M2x2, which I bought from TheCubicle.com, and since then this cube has become my main 2x2. But if you remember, in the package, there was another cube, and that would be the MoYu AoYan Skewb, which could also potentially become my new main. So Skewb, of course, is my favorite WCA event, but this is actually pretty much the first high-end Skewb release in over a year and a half. The last one being the X-Main Wingy, which I actually used in Nationals of 2017. So that's how old this thing is. It is a very, very good cube though. Before this, we also had the original MoYu Magnetic Skewb, which this should be a direct upgrade to. And this one has pretty similar performance to the Wingy. The magnets are a little bit lighter. I do prefer the stronger magnets in this one. And of course, the biggest difference between these two is the shape. This one has this weird concave feel, which actually helps a lot with the turning. Just the grip on the cube can be kind of awkward on Skewb, but the grip on this one makes it a whole lot easier. So this cube actually has a new solution that nobody has really tried before, so we're going to try that out today. So getting it out of the plastic here, it looks like we have some pretty fancy packaging. Looks like it actually opens up just like that. Has a nice little magnet to keep it in place. And here is the Skewb. You see that it's very, very fancy. I've been very excited to get into this because I really want a new change in Skewb hardware, see if it's better than the original Wingy. And inside of here, we have the interesting part of this cube. So let's just open this up here. We actually have a completely alternate set of center caps for this cube. So you should already be able to see the interesting part about these center caps. As you can see, each one just has this huge divot right in the middle, which your fingers should kind of fit into to help grip on this cube, just like the concave shape of the Wingy does. The fact that they're not on by default is kind of annoying because you have to put them on. And it might kind of suggest that through testing, they found that the best configuration is without these new tiles, so that's a little bit concerning, but we'll see. Also, it looks like there might be a few more things inside this box here, so looks like there's a few different cards. Probably not very useful. And also, there is a screwdriver as well as some extra magnets, so that's nice. Anyway, let's get into the Skewb here. So this box should open pretty easily, theoretically. There we go. And here is the Skewb. So I guess we should just try it out with the flat tiles on so we can have something to compare it to. So here we go. Here are my first turns. So it definitely is very fast. Feels a lot like the original MoYu Magnetic Skewb actually, that we were just taking a look at. Let's go ahead and do a U-perm here. There we go. Comparing that to the original one. Yeah, I mean, I guess the new one is definitely a little bit better. This one is like 2 years old now. This one definitely feels a lot more fluid, like everything is a little bit more loose. This one kind of feels like it has to be so tight because popping was a little bit of an issue if you had it really loose. This one, yeah, overall feels a little bit more fluid, a little bit more able to turn in all different directions all at once like this. You couldn't really do this with the old one as easily. Actually, I really want to see how this compares to the Wingy. So let's do a couple algorithms. Very nice and fluid compared to the Wingy. Ooh, I'm not sure. I think the algorithms might flow a little tiny bit better on this one, although I definitely do like the grip of this one. So let's go ahead and try out the new experimental grip on the MoYu Magnetic one. So here's the new cap. I imagine the old cap just kind of pops off. Not very easily. I guess that's kind of a good thing. You don't want it falling off as you're solving. Yeah, that took a little bit of force, but let's try and get the new one on here. And let's just see what it feels like with just that one side. Kind of seems like my two fingers can't both quite fit in it, which might be a little bit of a problem for doing algorithms. So here we go, I put all the new center caps on, and before turning it, overall just kind of my first impressions of the way it feels is just a little bit awkward because, of course, part of it's flat and part of it's curved, whereas before it was all flat and the Wingy is all curved, and so it's just kind of in between. It doesn't really feel natural, but let's just go ahead and try and turn it. It's very interesting. So it kind of just feels like on this top face, my fingers just don't really know where to go. Whereas on all the other pieces, my fingers seem to set pretty nicely right inside that divot. So yeah, the system is a little bit weird overall, just a little bit iffy, but I think I do like the concave centers just a little bit better than the flat ones. It gives you just a little bit of a better grip on the pieces. I do wish they would just make these circles a little bit bigger, maybe taking up the entire centerpiece. So let's just go ahead and do a quick solve on it so we can see its performance in action. So we'll get it scrambled up here, and that should be just about good now. So we'll do some inspection, and I think I'll go for the white side. 3, 2, 1, and go. I haven't solved Skewb for quite a long time, so this could be a little bit slow on my part. There we go, and now we have H-perm. There we go. So that wasn't that bad. The performance of this cube is definitely very good, definitely on par at least with the Wingy, maybe a little bit better, although I definitely do not like the grip quite as much as the Wingy. It's not that bad though. Now real quick, let's go ahead and take a look inside the mechanism. I imagine it'll look pretty similar to the MoYu Magnetic Skewb with maybe some small incremental upgrades. And that was actually pretty hard to get that edge piece out, so I imagine this will not have any popping problems. Looks very similar to the old one, just what I expected. As you can see, the magnets are right under here, under these edge pieces. They connect right under these center pieces, kind of hard to see there. And it looks like they're continuing the trend that I think they started on the original MoYu magnetic Skewb, where if you look at the mechanism of the edge piece, this upper part up here is actually the part that's holding the whole cube together, holding the edges in, whereas this lower part down here is a torpedo, which basically helps prevent popping. Whereas on a lot of older Skewbs, you would see it the other way around, where this part was what held the cube together, whereas this upper part was a torpedo. And I believe swapping those two kind of layers of the mechanism just helps with popping overall. It was also done on the Wingy. So overall, I am a little bit torn about whether I like the Skewb better than the Wingy. I think if you just take the base performance of the cube itself, this one is definitely a little bit better than the Wingy, but the ergonomics of the Wingy are way ahead of this one. But yeah, this cube is just effortlessly fast, very easy to turn very quickly. The magnets, of course, are good. They have a nice little tactile bump every time you finish a turn. It's right in between the Wingy, which is a little bit strong, and the original MoYu magnetic Skewb, which was definitely too weak. This one hits a nice balance of magnet strength, and I think the thing that really sets it apart from the Wingy is the fluidity of the turning. It just has this feel like it's very fast and easy to transfer from one move right into the next one. It has this very natural flow to it, whereas the Wingy takes a little bit more effort to go in between turns. It locks up a tiny bit more. I feel like the slight differences between these two really just comes down to the advancement in cubing hardware as a whole from when this one came out years ago to when this one came out very recently. And I also hope X-Man comes around with a new and improved Skewb soon, implementing the advances of the new MoYu one, as well as using their better ergonomic design. Anyway, if you didn't like the Wingy because of its shape, or if you really don't care about the ergonomics of the Skewb at all, and you're just going for the best performance, then I can definitely recommend the new MoYu AoYan Skewb to you. But if you already have a Wingy and you like it, or you don't want to swap back to a flat or mostly flat Skewb, or if price is your concern, this cube is only $10, whereas this one is closer to $20, then I would say hold off on this one for now and stick with the Wingy. But if you don't want to buy this cube, again, it's close to $20, but I'll leave a link to where you can buy it at TheCubicle.com in the description down below. As for me, I'm going to have to set this cube up and do a bunch of solves on it before I completely decide whether or not I want it to be my main. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it or found it interesting about this new Skewb, and I'll see you guys next time.